Do you disagree with the direction of the NDP government? Well, then be prepared to be filmed by an NDP minister. Sunday can be a day of rest for some people. Maybe you go to church, get some groceries, do your laundry, tidy up the house, walk the dog, do something with the kids, whatever, right? But not if you're the NDP. No way, because authoritarian craziness never takes the day off. Case in point, Sunday night's Calgary-Lougheed by-election debate. That's the by-election that was triggered when United Conservative Party MLA Dave Rodney stepped down so that United Conservative Party leader Jason Kenney could run as an MLA and then have a seat in the legislature to face off against Rachel Notley. And unsurprisingly, to me at least, the NDP candidate was getting a bit of a rough reception from the normal people who were attending the debate, which came as a complete and total shock to Rachel Notley's Deputy Chief of Staff and former Communist Party candidate, Anne McGrath, as you can see in this tweet here. The fact McGrath is so mortified at the vocal disagreement from the public only speaks to how out of touch with regular people the NDP really are. They're so deep inside that NDP bubble in Edmonton that they are actually shocked when people don't like them and have the audacity to tell them to their face. Anyway, the debate was a real gong show, but not because of anything the regular people in attendance did and not because of anything Jason Kenney did, but because of what the Alberta government did. NDP Infrastructure Minister Sandra Jansen was also in attendance. And how could we forget who Sandra Jansen really is? She was the reddest of red Tories in Alison Redford's government and was the anti-bullying minister. Now, have you ever heard of something so ridiculous? An anti-bullying government minister? Jansen routinely attacked other Conservatives when she was part of the shell that remained of the PC caucus after Notley was elected in 2015. And then she tried to run for leader of the PC party. Then she cried bullying, crossed the floor to the NDP, and now she sits as an NDP minister. Jansen is about as unprincipled and power-hungry as they come here in Alberta politics, and we've lived through a lot of politicians. And at Sunday night's debate, she was acting like a crazy person. She was filming the attendees. More accurately, she was filming the United Conservative Party supporters who were there cheering for Jason Kenney, and she was filming the United Conservative Party youth wing with her cell phone. Now, I was sent this video here by someone who was in attendance. Just watch. And then I heard from several people who had come forward later on to say it was one of the weirdest, creepiest things they had ever seen. A government minister going to surveil regular Albertans who oppose the NDP government at a public debate. It was a total freak show. One person who was there, a man named Paul Bachmann, actually confronted Jansen for her bizarre behavior. Just watch this.
Yo, that was so funny.
Sorry, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Why were you filming us? Why were you filming us?
Sorry, why are you doing this to me? I'm going to ask you to step aside and let me out of the room.
Why were you filming us?
I'm going to ask you to let me.
Do you think it is appropriate for a minister to be filming citizens?
Yeah, you tell him, Sandra, you're the victim here. I mean, why would a politician ever think that they would have their picture taken by the public at a public political event? What do those sewer rats think they're doing, engaging in democracy? Who do they think they are, speaking truth to power, right? Jansen is a total plague of whining and weirdness, and she thinks that her feelings of discomfort because regular citizens are holding her to account in a public place gives her permission to use her government cell phone to record regular people. She's the government. She's not a journalist anymore. She's not an ordinary regular citizen or a member of the public. Her role now is much, much different. What is she doing recording people, and what is wrong with her that she thought this was okay for someone from the government to do? I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but what on earth is Jansen going to do with the footage of the people she collected on Sunday night? Is she going to identify them, tell their employers that they were mean to her, find out if they own businesses? What was the purpose of all this nonsense? We know what the Obama administration did to people who disagreed with them. The IRS targeted conservative organizations. Do you think the NDP is above doing something so sleazy? Because I don't, especially now that the NDP are targeting their opposition, like us, by limiting free speech for conservative organizations with their Omnibus Bill 32. I've seen the NDP government do some bizarre and authoritarian stuff in the last 2 years. Banning journalists, trying to use the power of legislation to silence their political enemies, and calling normal people who disagree with carbon taxes xenophobes and bigots. And now the infrastructure minister, the ridiculous former minister of anti-bullying, is using what seems like pretty authoritarian intimidation tactics on Albertans engaging in the democratic process in a public place. If you disagree with the NDP, they think it's okay to film you as though you are committing some sort of crime. Albertans aren't serfs, and we are still allowed to tell the government what we think of them without Big Brother in the form of Sandra Jansen watching us. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Rachel Notley and the NDP are using Bill 32 to crack down on free expression and the free press here in Alberta. To see the full story and to sign our petition, go to notleyisabully.ca.